about Mortal Kombat. Anybody see the new Mortal Kombat movie?
I did.
I have
Mike,
not.
Christian?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's another big hit. Warner Brothers is rolling them out, and they're making tons of money. So, hey, good for them. I saw Mortal Kombat. What were your thoughts, Mike?
Overall, I really enjoyed it. I mean, the first two weren't exactly, high benchmarks. I mean, I loved the first film, but we're not talking Shakespeare here. We're talking Mortal Kombat. So it didn't have a high level to live up to. Outside of a few character development situations that I thought were very weak, overall it was satisfying. I enjoyed it. It's a good popcorn flick. It's nice to see the blood return to Mortal Kombat. Most of the characters were cool. I agree with pretty much everybody that the new lead character Cole is the weakest link. And I don't blame the actor. I blame the script, because there's like zero character development for him. We meet him. He's on our hero's journey, but we miss like the first part of the journey. So how am I supposed to be invested in a character when I don't know anything about him or how he got to be where he's at? But hey, like everybody says, Kano damn near broke his back carrying the middle of the film, and thank God for Kano, because everybody else is really cool. I like the characterizations of Liu Kang and Kung Lao and Cabal, and they're all great. Raiden, so I watched it. I saw it at a drive-in, and then I came home and immediately watched it again on HBO Max just to see if there was anything I missed. And I could do away with like the middle part, so I kind of like fast forward after the beginning till the time Kano's introduced. Yeah. So like that section, you're not missing anything if you don't watch it. That's unfortunate, but it's still a great flick. I didn't really understand. No, Sub-Zero was a good guy at the beginning, but now he's a bad guy. And Scorpion is a good guy, but he was a bad guy. And why is Sub-Zero speak at the beginning? He's speaking Chinese mixed with Japanese to his wife, and it's like, well, if this is feudal Japan and this is a war of the clans, why is Sub-Zero speaking Chinese but Scorpion can't understand him because he speaks Japanese? And what's the conflict that led up to the moment? So there's a lot of missing character development in there that makes it kind of hard to be involved in the overall story. I don't know if it's due to reshoots or edits or just bad script writing. I mean, come on, guys. The script is the least of the budget, but the most important thing. So, take the time, if you're going to make a movie, to try to develop the characters, do it right. I mean, because Cole could have been a much better character had they just spent a little extra time. Okay, so when we meet him, he's a $200 a fight punching bag, but he was former champion. Okay, so what happened? How did he get that way? Why should I care about his eventual change back into a champion when I don't know what happened in the first place? And then he only wins one fight on his own, and everybody has to keep bailing him out, but he's a superhero guy. I mean, I don't know. There was a few problems with the writing, but other than that, it was solid. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, they definitely tinkered with the meta from the games, but the games tinkered with the meta themselves as they progressed. So I mean,
exactly. And I don't. It seems like one of the story modes from one of the later games, where you have a story and then a fight and a story and then a fight.
Yeah.
So that part didn't bother me. That seemed like logical for a movie. You can't just have a tournament and that's it. So it was good. It's just I didn't understand the character swap with Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and why one was this way and one was the other way, but there was no explanation as to why they were enemies in the first place. You just kind of had to take it on faith that there was issues between the two. Now Scorpion's like the sympathetic anti-hero,
right?
And Sub-Zero is now the bloodthirsty goon of Shang Tsung, but we don't really understand how that happened or why. Well, it was it's a good cartoon flick.
It'll all be explained in the sequel. It'll all be
and maybe Johnny Cage will be in the sequel though.
Yeah, if I was going to guess, Mike, I think that after all these years, the fan favorite character is Scorpion at the end of the day. And I think that's probably why they did that. You know, because I'm with you. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. In Annihilation, Sub-Zero was a good guy. What the hell is? Oh, wait a minute. Why am I connecting Annihilation to this? What the hell is wrong with me? But I'm pretty much with you. I thought Cole was like this reluctant hero that didn't even want to do anything. Get him out of here. And not only that, I thought he was going to be Scorpion the whole time. He was turning yellow, so I thought he was. I thought he was going to be Scorpion. But I'm with you. I thought it was fair. I thought it was great. The Mortal Kombat movie in you, if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, the movie in your head, there's no way whatever they make is ever going to match it. The Mortal Kombat movie in my head is amazing. I mean, it's a very big budget movie too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it was fine. My number one thing when I was talking about when I was watching my wife, I said, if Goro isn't in this movie, I will be pissed because that's my favorite character is Goro, and thankfully I got him. CGI I didn't bother me. Of course, I love my rubber Mortal Goro from the first one, but I mean, at a certain point, you know, CGI's got to start looking pretty damn good. I mean, how long has it been around now? So I thought it was fine, the CGI. So I love Goro. That was my favorite scene. I thought Goro's scene was awesome. I didn't want to see him die because maybe we'll get that Bengal tiger forearm guy that's in the game too for the next one. So, you know, maybe that'll happen, but I'm with you. Fair. But Jesus Christ, make another character. There's 70 characters in Mortal Kombat. For God's sakes, just give us the backstory. There was a cartoon that came out not long ago, Scorpion's Revenge, that I liked. Came out a year or so ago, and that was rated R. I like that even more, though. If you haven't seen that, check that out. But it's a cartoon, so I know that's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but just saying, that's a little. I thought that was actually better. But I did like the movie. It was fair.
CGI was good. That's a good shout.
The CGI was good. I think they tried to pack a lot into just a 90-minute movie because it was only like 90 minutes. Didn't seem like it was much longer than 90 minutes. And, you know, that compression, of course, creates issues with a lot of the characters. A lot of the characters just seem to not have much to do. They were just there because they were recognizable characters, and then that's it. So some of the characters suffered because of that. Some of the dialogue was very clunky. Some of the acting was a little wooden. You know, there's some script issues, but yeah, I thought it looked great. I thought the fight sequences were really good. The casting of I forget the actor's name, Scorpion of Hanzo, was brilliant casting. Brilliant casting. I, you know, every time I see Jax, I think Steve Harvey, though. I couldn't take Jax serious. I kept thinking it's Steve Harvey, but it's like a young Steve Harvey. Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it too. It was a lot of fun, and I'm ready for the sequel. I'm ready for part 2, and I'm sure that there's going to be a part 2 because it's already made over $51 million worldwide.
Yeah.
The sequel's been greenlit, so yeah, we're going.
The only thing, Piz, and I hate to compare with the original. I liked Shang Tsung. I liked his black eyes and everything. But the Shang Tsung in the 96 movie, he was so perfect. I couldn't help myself but say, damn it. I loved Shang Tsung in the first movie. That's the only character that I was just like, because Kano, I loved him. I'm with you. I rewatched it again and I thought he was great. But no Johnny Cage. We got Jax. I like Jax. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he sucked on the game. You never wanted to play with Jax. But no Johnny Cage? What the hell?
They're making you wait for part 2 for Johnny.
That's fine.
That's for part 2 for Johnny.
Well, you know, they had 30 years of Mortal Kombat lore to pull from, and it kind of seems like a patchwork quilt of things that don't quite fit together, but they forced them together.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still good. I mean, you know, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been It could have been Annihilation Part 2.
Oh God!
It could have. But Kano definitely.
You just might get your wish in a year or so.
And Reptile was much better in this one than he was in Annihilation.
That's true.
God! Reptile was in the first 2 PG-13 ones, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He was a lizard in the original one.
It was a horrible CGI cartoon.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. Kano kind of stole the show. He had all the best dialogue. That actor was definitely just having a really fun time playing Kano. And
what was that? His counterpart that had the Iron Cabal. He was great too. I mean, they really captured his moves, and there was a lot of cool signature stuff. I loved how they had the part with Liu Kang was doing the leg sweeps. And it's like, dude, is that all you can do? Now, how many times you played Mortal Kombat against somebody and all they did was leg sweep you?
Yeah, that's when you know they can
Hilarious.
play. Did he do the bicycle kick?
Yeah, he did the
He did.
bicycle kick.
Yes.
Can we
Kung Lao
agree?
did-
Can we agree Kung Lao had the nastiest and best kill in that movie when he put his hat down and it was spinning?
He had a good fatality.
straight out of the game, Scorpion did his, pulled his mask off, and then face turns to a skull and breathes fire. I mean, they really did pay a lot of attention to the things that they figured were important, and they get mostly 75% right. You know, hey, that's a 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Amen.
There you go. So Mortal Kombat gets, I think it gets our stamp of approval, even though it doesn't need it. It's made $51 million worldwide. So, yeah.
Money is nothing. It needs the region-free stamp.
There you go.
That's right.
It's certified free. Well, no, that's not. It's certified region unlocked. It's certified region unlocked.
Clips just like this, be sure to subscribe to the Region Free YouTube channel and also check out the Patreon to get exclusive content and become a Regionaire.